गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां विधेये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। देवीं वाचमजनयन्त देवाः तां विश्वरूपा पशवो वदन्ति सा नो मन्द्रेषु मूर्जन्तुहाना तेनुर्भागस्मानुपतिष्ठितैतु व्यासं वसिष्ठसप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकदातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्महृदये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मत्श्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीलता महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी समेत श्रीचन्द्रमौळीश्वराय नमः। काञ्चीकामकोटिपीठाधिपति जगद्गुरु श्रीशङ्कराचार्य श्रीचरणयोः प्रणामाः। स्वस्ति श्रीमदखिलभूमण्डलालङ्कारत्रय त्रिंशत्कोटिदेवता सेवित श्रीकामाक्षी देवी सनाथ श्रीमदेकाम्रनाथ श्रीमहादेवी सनाथ श्रीहस्तिगिरिनाथ साक्षात्कारपरमाधिष्ठान सत्यव्रतनामाङ्कित काञ्ची दिव्यक्षेत्रे शारदा मठसंस्थितानाम् अतुलितसुधारसमाधुर्य कमलादर कामिनी धम्मिल्ल सम्पुल्ल मल्लिका मालिका निश्यन्द मकरन्दझरी सौवस्तिक वाङ् निगम्भ विजृम्भणान्द तुन्दलित मनीषमण्डलानाम् अमृताद्वैत विद्या विनोदरसिकानां निरन्तरालङ्कृतीकृत शान्तिदान्ति भूम्नां सकलभुवनचक्र प्रतिष्ठापक श्रीचक्र प्रतिष्ठापक यशोलङ्कृतानां निखिलभाषण्डकण्ठकोद्घाटनेन विशदीकृत वेदान्त मार्ग शर्मद प्रतिष्ठापकाचार्याणां श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य श्री जगद्गुरु श्रीमत् भगवत्पादाचार्याणाम् अधिष्ठाने सिंहासनाभिषिक्त श्रीमत् चन्द्रशेखरेन्द्र सरस्वती संयमीन्द्राणाम् अधिष्ठाने सिंहासनाभिषिक्त श्रीमत् जयेन्द्र सरस्वती संयमीन्द्राणाम् अन्ते वासिवर्य श्रीमत् शंकर विजयेन्द्र सरस्वती श्रीपादानां च चरणधरणयोः सप्तश्रियं साञ्जलिबन्धं नमस्कुर्वः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। So we will continue where we left last class. We do 8 more today. Just to make it very clear, this is primarily not a Vishnu Sahasranamam class. This is being added to the scope based on demand, because there are people who watched the video that I shared in terms of benefits of Vishnu Sahasranamam, and they wanted the pronunciation to be corrected in case they are not chanting it right, which is why I decided to add a little bit of shlokas every class. So that will continue as just like I do Dhyana Shlokam, I will do some shlokas of Vishnu Sahasranamam. That's about it. But primarily it's going to be all about Upanishads and Suktams. So, Om Namo Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Om Namo Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Shri Vaishampayana Uvacha. Shri Vaishampayana Uvacha. Shrutva Dharmana Sheshena Pavanani Cha Sarvashah. श्रुत्वा धर्मानशेषेण पावनानि च सर्वशः युधिष्ठिरः शान्तनवं पुनरेवाभ्यभाषत् युधिष्ठिरः शान्तनवं पुनरेवाभ्यभाषत् युधिष्ठिर उवाच युधिष्ठिर उवाच किमेकं दैवतं लोके किं वाप्येकं परायणम् किमेकं दैवतं लोके किं वाप्येकं परायणम् स्तुवन्तः कं कर्म चन्तः प्राप्नुयुर्मानवा शुभम् स्तुवन्तः कर्म चन्तः प्राप्नुर्मानवा शुभम् को धर्मः सर्वधर्माणां भवतः परमो मतः को धर्मः सर्वधर्माणां भवतः परमो मतः किं जपन्मुच्यते जन्तुर्जन्म संसारबन्धनात् किं जपन्मुच्यते जन्तुर्जन्म संसारबन्धनात् भीष्म उवाच भीष्म उवाच जगत्प्रभुं देवदेवमनन्तं पुरुषोत्तमं जगत्प्रभुं देवदेवमनन्तं पुरुषोत्तमं स्तुवन्नाम सहस्रेण पुरुषः सततोत्थितः स्तुवन्नाम सहस्रेण पुरुषः सततोत्थितः तमेव चार्चयन्नित्यं भक्त्या पुरुषमव्ययम् तमेव चार्चयन्नित्यं भक्त्या पुरुषमव्ययम् ध्यायन् स्तुवन्नमस्तं च यजमानस्तमेव च ध्यायन् स्तुवन्नामसञ्जत् यजमानस्तमेव च अनाधिनिधनं विष्णुं सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम् अनादिनिधनं विष्णुं सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम् लोकाध्यक्षं स्तुवन्नित्यं सर्वदुःखातिको भवेत् लोकाध्यक्षं स्तुवन्नित्यं सर्वदुःखातिको भवेत् ब्रह्मण्यं सर्वधर्मज्ञं लोकानां कीर्तिवर्धनम् ब्रह्मण्यं सर्वधर्मज्ञं लोकानां कीर्तिवर्धनम् लोकनाथं महद्भूतं सर्वभूतभवोद्भवम् लोकनाथं महद्भूतं सर्वभूतभवोद्भवम् एष मे सर्वधर्माणां धर्मोऽधिकतमो मतः एष मे सर्वधर्माणां धर्मोऽधिकतमो मतः यद्भक्त्या पुण्डरीकाक्षं स्तवैरच्चेन्नरः तदा यद्भक्त्या पुण्डरीकाक्षं स्तवैरच्चेन्नरः सदा. So that completes 15 shlokas. So we covered 7 in the first. I've taken 8 more in this class. What I would suggest is all of you practice it. Maybe we will have sometime one of the class where each one can chant one shloka without taking too much of time, because this is something which most of you know and learn. This is for some of those people who are interested in ensuring that the pronunciation and everything is correct. So we will quickly jump to finishing the Ganapati Atharvaseersham, which we had left halfway for USA class. Are you all able to practice whatever you are learning here?
Yes, Kumar.
Good. I think we stopped with number 8, right, for USA? Yeah. So we will continue from 9 for Ganapati Atharvaseersham. एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमङ्कुशधारिणम् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमङ्कुशधारिणम् रदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजम् रदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजम् रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितम् रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितम् भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृतेः पुरुषात् परम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृतेः पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं Sayogi yoginam varah. So here if you notice there are many aksharas which are back to back anudata. So it is important you pay attention to how to go quickly to anudata, sustain it, and then come back up to udata for the correct akshara. For example, Virbhutam cha. You are going from Swarita to Srishthyadau. All are anudata. Then again, Prakrit, pra anudata, kru udata. Prakrite. So don't just chant it as it is by reading the script. You listen to the audio over and over again and synchronize that at the correct akshara you are coming back to udata. So that way it will be chanting wise perfect. Otherwise, you will be putting any odd swaras anywhere and it will sound to you that you're chanting it right. So you need to pay attention when there is all udata or all anudata. Make sure that you are transitioning properly. So one more time, I will explain what I'm saying. Where is Swarita? Bho is Anudata. Tam again. I'm coming back to Udata. Bhotam. Are you all able to hear the difference clearly? So Bhotam cha. I'm again going to Swarita. So Anudata to Udata to Swarita. Bhotam cha. La la la. Clear? That is the level of clarity you need to have. From cha, srishthyadau, cha, srishthyadau. You cannot be late in saying sru, I am going to do udata, then I will go to anudata. That is also a wrong chanting. So, srishthyadau, prakri, lala, prakri, pra anudata, kru udata. Prakrite, I have already transitioned to dirgha swarita. Prakrite, por, po udata. Por, drop ru anudata. Por, shat, por, shat. Shat is udata again. Param, pa is udata. Swarita. Param, ram is udata. So you have to pay attention and focus. Make sure that the sound is generated in the proper way. Wherever there is a proper swarita, you have to give swarita. Wherever there is anudata, you have to do anudata. So the next one is supposed to be chanted in one breath and continuous. Everything is udata. So you need to pay attention and keep the swara intact. Namo Vratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Namah Pramathapataye, Namaste Stulambodara, Yaikadantaya Vignanashine, Shivasutaya Sri Varadamurtaye Namo Namaha. Most scripts may not have Sri in before Varadamurtaye. It is customary to say Sri Varadamurtaye. Most scripts may not have Namo Namaha. They would only give Namaha. But it is very common practice to chant Sri Varadamurtaye Namo Namaha. So you can take note there in terms of if there is any addition that you need to do to the script. Once again, Namo Vratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Namah Pramathapataye, Namaste Stulambodara, Yaikadantaya Vignanashine, Sivatutaya, Sri Varadamurtaye, Namo Namaha. Again, Namaha, Ma should be Swarita, but most script don't give it. But based on my audio, you can correct it. Then Atharvaseersham yodhite. Some script will be having this separately, and then Sa Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. This one separate. In some script, it will be given together. You can chant it either way depending on the particular group with which you are chanting for a particular event. So you need to be able to understand it both the ways. So, Ethatarvashirsham yodhite sa brahma bhuyaya kalpate sa sarva vignairna badhyate. स सर्वविघ्नैर्न बाध्यते स सर्वत्र सुखमेधते स सर्वत्र सुखमेधते स पञ्चमहापापात् प्रमुच्यते स पञ्चमहापापात् प्रमुच्यते सायमधियानो दिवसकृतं पापं नाशयति सायमधियानो दिवसकृतं पापं नाशयति. So divasakritam, all are udata. There cannot be anything going up and down. Papam nashayati prataradhiyano ratrikritam papam nashayati prataradhiyano ratrikritam papam nashayati सायं प्रातः प्रयुञ्जानो पापो भवति सायं प्रातः प्रयुञ्जानो पापो भवति. So papo, there is a avagraha, then there is a pa swarita, papo udata, again bhavati. And again, those who are BPA, there will be a difference here where Raghuji has nicely explained why there is a difference and how we follow with BPA script. सर्वत्राधियानोपविघ्नो भवति सर्वत्राधियानोपविघ्नो भवति. V is swarita, not pa. धर्मार्थकाममोक्षं च विन्दति V anudata. धर्मार्थकाममोक्षं च विन्दति. इदमथर्वशीर्षमशिष्याय न देयम् इदमथर्वशीर्षमशिष्याय न देयम् यो यदि मोहात् दास्यति स पापीयान् भवति. Again here some script will give it you split, some will give you joint. It is one and the same. यो यदि मोहात् दास्यति स पापीयान् भवति. सहस्रावर्तनाद्यं यं काममधीते तं तमनेन साधयेत्. सहस्रावर्तनाद्यं यं काममधीते तं तमनेन साधयेत्. This finishes 11. In each of these one, you will see some script giving it a split, some is giving it combined. So I'm not going to keep repeating it every time. If you see it different, you can chant it different. If it is together, you can chant it together. Both are done. Anena Ganapatima Bhishinchati Savagmi Bhavati. Anena Ganapatimabhishinchati Savagmi Bhavati. Here, Ganapati ma swarita, Bhishinchati shi anudata, Savag va swarita, Savagmi Bhavati. Chaturthyamanashnan japati, Savidyavan Bhavati. Chaturthyamanashnan japati, Savidyavan Bhavati. Ityatharvana-vakyam brahmadya varanam vidyanabhibheti kadachaneti. This is going to be a little tough. If you practice it the way I did it right now, it will be easy. Don't try to do it in one go unless you have enough practice. So brahmadya, one group, dhya, soft dhya. Varanam. If you don't pay attention, you will give Swarita to Va instead of Ra. It is Varanam. Then Vidyan. V Anudata. Vidyan. Bibheti. Udata all. Kada. Da Swarita. Chaneti. Ne Anudata. Kada chaneti. This completes 12. Yodurvankurair yajati. Yodurvankurair yajati. Savaishravanopamo bhavati. Savaishravanopamo bhavati. Yolajair yajati. La Swarita, Ya Anudata. Yolajair yajati. Sayashovan bhavati. Sayashovan bhavati. Samedhavan bhavati. Samedhavan bhavati. When you're starting like this, you need to make sure that the Sa is Udata. You cannot just lose your focus and put Sa Anudata or some half swaras, right? Sa, you have to start proper at the right swara. Samedhavan bhavati. Yo modaga sahasrena yajati. Savanchita phalama. Savanchita phalama. Vapnoti. Vapnoti. Sai, we are on 13, Ganapati Atharvaseersham. We finished 8 shlokas of Vishnu Sahasranamam.
Okay.
Yassajyasamidbhir Yassajyasamidbhir Yajati Yajati Sasarvam labhate Sasarvam labhate Sasarvam labhate. All Udata. Again, Sasarvam la la la. Sarvam. Sa is Swarita, but Irvam is Udata, not Anudata. So it is very important to pay attention, learn, practice. Otherwise, you'll learn wrong, you'll practice wrong, and you'll chant wrong. Make sense? Sasarvam vam Udata. If you don't pay attention, you'll say Sasarvam Anudata. If you go Anudata, then it is wrong. Sasarvam labhate. La is Anudata. Labhate. Anudata, Udata, Udata. Labhate. Te is Dirgham, so it is to be given enough matra at the end. Ashtau brahmanan samyagrahayitva suryavarchasvi bhavati. Ashtau brahmanan samyagrahayitva suryavarchasvi bhavati. So wherever there is a Surya Varchasvi Dirgham, you give Dirgham. Don't rush. Don't chant Surya Varchasvi Bhavati. So that kind of a chanting is of no use. You have to give Dirgham wherever there is a Dirgha matra, Dirgham 2 matra, and then chant. Surya Grahe Maha Nadyam Pratima Sannidhauva Chapva. Suryagrahe, all Udata. Suryagrahe. Ma, you jump to Swarita quickly. Maha, ha Udata. Nadyam, lalla. Pratima sannidhauva, Udata. Japtva, ja Anudata. Tva is Udata. Siddha mantro bhavati. Siddhamantro bhavati. Mahavignat pramuchyate. Mahavignat pramuchyate. Many people are used to doing there in Dirgha Swarita. Please avoid that. Don't chant like Mahavignat. It's a wrong way of chanting Dirgha Swarita. So you do Swarita and then you extend it. That is the correct way to do. Mahadoshat pramuchyate. Mahadoshat pramuchyate. Mahapratyavayat pramuchyate. Mahapratyavayat pramuchyate. Sa sarvavid bhavati, sa sarvavid bhavati. Here again, slightly tricky. First part is sa sarvavid bhavati, all udata. You need to hold the swaras very consciously. Whereas the second part is sa sarvam. So just like we did sa sarvam labhate, same way. Sa sarvavid bhavati, the second part. Ya evam veda, ya evam veda, ityupanishate, ityupanishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Again, this is the first part that we started with, the Shanti Mantram. You close it with the Shanti Mantram. And as I had said in the first class, if you are chanting same Upanishad from the same Veda and with the same Shanti Mantra, then you don't do it back to back twice. Which means if you're chanting another Upanishad which starts with Bhadram Karnevi, then you don't close here. After Om Shanti Shanti, you go to the next Upanishad, and towards the end of the next Upanishad, you close it with the Bhadram Karnevi again. Is that clear? But if the other one starts with Tachayo or Abranimahe or anything, some other thing, Shanno Mitra Sambarna, then you'll have to close it and then start separately. It depends on the sequence. Or if you're chanting only Ganapati Atharvaseersham, then you're supposed to close with the Shanti Mantra. So, do you want me to break this down and share it, or can we just chant it once?
We can chant it once.
Okay. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaah Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangai Sastanubhih Sthirairangai Sastanubhih Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuh Swasti na Indro Vruddhashavaah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaah Swasti nastarkshyo Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Some of the people who have not joined the class formally, they have approached me to say, okay, we are learning so many things, but we don't know how to put it together in terms of doing a puja or something. I have done this maybe a year or two back. I don't remember when. We had in fact dedicated two major sessions, one in teaching the puja vidhi and followed by actual live demo in the basement of our home, where people were made to bring kalashas and everything, and even do the setup of kalashas. There we went into the detail of puja vidhi. I will keep postponing it till more people are interested to know that. Then I will have one session for puja vidhi. But that has to be a longer session because you cannot do justice in 1 hour to teach what all things to do, except for giving the index, which is of no use to you. So this completes Ganapati Atharvaseersham. So you are on par with the UK India batch. For both the batches, I have to finish the second half of the Ganapati Atharvaseersham meaning, which I will go quickly, and then we will start with the Mundaka Upanishad, which is one of the key requirements of Sonalji. Full credit to her perseverance and follow up, just like Sai was doing it for a long time. So we will go with the Mundaka operations. I'll share the script. I'm back in the US this weekend, so I'll be back in my home base where I can ensure that the script is prepared and shared in multiple languages. Right? So, any questions so far? As far as Ganapati Atharvaseersham is concerned, please understand there are schools of thoughts where people say that truly speaking for Ganapati Atharvaseersham there is no swaras. So don't worry too much if your swaras are not there or not correct. You can chant it as it is also. And these are all very, very educated and learned people that are saying it. So you can't sit down and challenge them, what are they talking about? My approach has been, if God has blessed me how to chant it with swaras, why not? Okay. So I always chant it with proper swaras, proper matras. Latest WhatsApp University production is again, I don't know why all the great musicians come after Vedam in the name of innovation. So first Gayatri Mantra was experimented with. I watched the latest audio visual of Shankar Mahadev, whom I respect a lot, is chanting the Ganapati Atharvaseersham in a very musical fashion. So you have multiple choices now. You can chant it with swaram, without swaram, or in a Shankar Mahadevan style, close to breathless kind of attempt in chanting Ganapati Atharvaseersham. So God will be the best person to decide what kind of credit has to be given to you for chanting in whichever manner you chant. Right? So that's a direct conversation between you and God, not me. uh, so any doubt or anybody wants to chant any of the rigs and want to get the feedback, corrections, etc. Happy Republic Day to the Indian side of the story. Yeah.
Are we doing that? Like, maybe next week we can chant it
Mm,
one by one, everyone. Like
absolutely.
one.
Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah, this week I'm going to practice, and then next week we can.
As always, I'm open for any approach. If you need time to practice and then come back and change, that is fine too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So as I put to the group, for all the classes I'm seeing when people do travel, like I'm traveling also, like people do travel. If you notice, even if I'm in India or in US, that I don't allow the class to be impacted as much as possible. Unless somebody throws a very, very important meeting request, which I cannot avoid, like what happened yesterday evening for India, UK India batch. I try to do my best effort, regardless of which environment where I am. Uh, I ensure that I have an internet connectivity and I continue the class. The purpose of that is not to lecture somebody, but uh, at least after all these years of teaching, not just Vedam, I've taught many things to many people, even in the management side of it. And I'm formally trained in something called andragogy and pedagogy. These are terms you can Google and find out what it means. It's about how to teach to people of different age groups. The teaching method is not the same because our absorption level, our learning process differs as we age. Our egos are different. It's easy to when you should attend one of the kids class, Vedam class. How I teach them. I will literally blast them in on the class itself. It will work well. They will all listen. They will all be very quiet. They may throw tantrums with their parents, but they won't do that in the class. They know that it is for their good. And we are talking of kids of 10, 11, 12, 13 years of age. You can't attend the same method with adults because the learning curve is not the same. So you have to respect that. But one thing is common for anybody who's learning anything, not just with me or without me. That's not the question. There is no substitute to attending a live class. YouTube is only a backup. Just like I'm forced to skip a class at the last minute. Similarly, you are also having a lot of responsibility where you will have something to miss at the last minute. So you don't have to be under pressure. You have YouTube as a backup. You learn from YouTube session, but then touch base again one to one and get it corrected, because all of this at the end of the day is technology. While I am saying things, I don't even know how it is received at your end. Not because of your problem or my problem, but there is a technology barrier. Just like when you're on a phone call, you keep saying, right, oh, you're cutting out, you're cutting out. Same thing can happen here. And that is the danger of remote learning. Even more dangerous is, learning from my YouTube video, saying that I'm learning from you only, but through YouTube, because I don't know what is going into YouTube. I never go back and watch a video of my own. So things may get cut off, things may not be recorded properly, the Swarasthanas audio may not be the same. So it's better to be live, because when you chant back, I can hear and correct it. And that is very, very important. If you notice today's class, for whatever is the reason, I have to do my analysis what happened today. My tongue was not rolling properly.
Oh.
So I corrected myself a few times, not just once, a few times. So it could be a pressure issue, it could be something else, it could be that you just woke up 1 hour ago and you're getting onto the class. It could be anything. Imagine somebody who's chanting day in and day out can have this problem. If you do gaps in the classes, you're missing a few classes, not one, two, three, four. It's very difficult to continue the process of good learning. So when you are trying to learn these things, these are not a checklist to say that I know 15, 20 different things. It's not about learning or knowing 15 different things. It's all about finally chanting yourself and getting the benefit. And chanting it right, chanting it perfect with Swarasthanas. And then you have another dimension of the problem of different scripts, different customs. So when you sit down and do, we just attended a Maharudram day before yesterday. Technically speaking, it is from my own guru's school. My own guru's disciples, third, fourth generation disciples are teachers, and they have taught to many people, and they're all sincerely doing it wherever they are called for. Because to do a Maharudram, you need 121 people. You don't have so many Vaidikas coming in. You may not be able to afford so many Vaidikas also. There are different challenges. And if in a small city there are multiple events on the same day, the Vaidikas are going to get split. So that is where people like us become very useful and handy. Say, okay, this guy knows how to chant Vedam, so he can also be included. And for us in Vedam, Mahanyasam is a very big challenge, because there are many, many different versions. I don't know why that is the culture, but that is what it is. So I asked what Mahanyasam we're going to follow. So my friend was trying to coordinate with somebody who's the coordinator, because I didn't have the number of the coordinator directly. So he said, "Oh, my guru is asking you, what do you mean by what version?" Which was a shock. And I said, "Are you going to follow Bodhana Mahanyasam?" So he messages back again saying, "My guru is asking, what is this Bodhana Ektam? He hasn't heard this." I didn't know how to respond. So I typed the whole thing and sent it. This is what I mean. Bodhana Sutra Tode, Bodhana Ektam Mahanyasam. I get a voice memo from his guru forwarded back to me. Oh, there is nothing like that. I haven't ever heard in all these years. So Mahanyasam is all one script, same thing. There is no difference. So I said, okay, time to lip your seal and move forward. So sometimes you may be challenged in a group where you don't have enough information to know what to chant, how to chant, which is where all the accuracy in chanting will help you switch at will. Like they will say swasti in detail, they'll say swasti in short. So depending on what they are doing, you need to be able to switch accordingly. These are not skills that even for a child will come off very easily. It takes time. Rekha is there. Do you see a difference in Nilkanta now? Huge difference. Her husband is learning Vedam. He was struggling. And I used to tell him, just throw your inhibition out. Even if it is wrong, just chant out loudly. Now he's coming and he's able to follow and catch up and chant like anybody else. And for me, it is over and over again. I have seen the transition from batch to batch where people struggle almost to the point of frustration. Even Ramswamy is there, he can vouch for it, right? There were people who were struggling to chant. They just couldn't do it. But once you get the nuance of how to chant, then it becomes very easy not to just learn this, but to learn anything else. Padmaji is a witness for Devi Mahatmya, and she will vouch for it. Everybody who's in the class now is at that level, same level. They're all so confident. They're all chanting so well. So to me, when somebody asked me when they joined this group, what is the Guru Dakshina? I said that is the Guru Dakshina. It is important that you come out and chant well if you're even remotely expecting benefits to accrue. Otherwise, chanting it just like various different influences or styles is not really worth it. The traditional approach has a lot of meaning and significance. And if you really take it to the scientific level, if you are an electronic student, you can record or even a technology person, you chant and record and see the waveform. There are many software you can use and go and see the waveform. See how much of difference comes if you don't have the perfection. So to learn and chant individually is a challenge. Then if you are like husband and wife together, if you both sit down to do puja together, both will be in different channel. There's no point. There you have to align. You have to be in sync. Exactly the same matra, same style. And then now you go to a slightly bigger group. Then you go to a larger group. Then you do Atirudram. So many things to learn. Even at this age, I am learning. There's never an end to learning. So please try and attend. Uh, I understand that even in Mumbai environment, these are small matchbox size homes. You don't want to disturb other people in the house. You may be living in somebody else's house temporarily, but you can just put a headset, listen to the audio, attend live, listen to some of the tips and nuances given, and leverage that. Even if you don't have the script, keep listening. At least that listening will help you. Afterwards, you go back to YouTube. You get what I'm saying? So please reconsider whenever you post a message. I'm going to India. I'll see you after 3 months. Nothing is wrong with me. At the most, I'll do a poll like what I did today. If there's no quorum, I'll say, okay, class is cancelled. I'll move on. But as far as possible, no matter what the challenges are, see if you can attend live. There's no substitute for that. Right? So, is there anything else, or we can wrap up? Govindraj Mama, very unusually quiet today. Audio varadilla Mama, some setting difference. I don't know. You have unmuted yourself, but the audio is not coming. All right. Usha, you were able to follow?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Then we will wrap it up.
I have a question.
Ah,
I have a question.
Chalo.
When you teach, can we repeat it because it is in a Zoom? Is everybody's voice heard, or I don't know, since everybody was
No,
on
if
mute today, I didn't chant.
yeah. So good question, and I'll answer that right away. If you all chant with me, then I would suggest that when I'm repeating it twice, first time you hear it.
Okay.
Second time you chant along if you want.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if there is a class of, let's say, even 6 or 8 like today or more, then it is very, very difficult to pick anybody's voice except the one that is loud enough and close to the mic. There are two reasons for that. A, you cannot hear all the 16 voices, and if it was a live class, I can do it. Whether it is 10 people, 12 people, 15 people, I can pick individual and correct it. But on a Google Meet, what happens is each one also will have a different setting. I may have my setting, you may have your individual setting where there is some feature called noise cancelling. So if somebody starts first, let us say I finished. Swasti no Brihaspati Dhatu. Not everybody will start exactly at the same time, or also due to bandwidth issues. So somebody starts first, all others will be considered as noise and it will start cancelling. So I will only hear the one which is very close and prominent. So those are the some challenges, but we can try.
Okay.
Better would be, allocate like question and answer in any webinar or seminar and say last 10 minutes we allocate it, like what we do in Devi Mahatmya, we do that.
Yes. Okay.
So if that is required, we can do it. And I was waiting to do that today because I went fast because I thought I'll create that time for you to chant back. But yeah, I was wrapping up the class because you said you want to take practice. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I want to practice. But
No,
I think
fine.
we
That
should
is
do
fine.
that next week.
That is fine.
Because sometimes at home when we do it, I'm not sure whether I'm doing it correctly. So.
Perfect. No problem. Other option is also to record audio and send it.
Okay. Yeah.
That is also something that you can think of.
Mhm.
And first and the foremost, you have to drop your inhibition. I'm not getting it and I'm going to make a mistake and I'm going to get corrected in front of 10 people. All other 9 people are perfect. I'm the only one that is making mistake. All this thought process just drop.
Yeah.
First class, I said, learning curve is different for everybody. You cannot compare yourself with another person. Another person may learn fast something, but then plateau soon and before there is further learning. You may be having a very flat this thing, but once you start, you may take off in a big way. It all depends on individual, and there is no comparison. And nobody in my class will ever judge the other person. I think Padmaji is also one of the oldest one. She doesn't miss any class. Am I correct, Padmaji? We don't have anybody laughing at the other person, correct?
Yes.
Then where is the question of any inhibition? You are coming here because you don't know. That is a given. And learning is not something where you should be ashamed of. It's a good thing that you are learning. And that is what has helped me. There are people who have come back and asked me, how is it that you're chanting Vedam, you're chanting Devi Mahatma? Even yesterday in Maharudram, I'm saying, of all the audience in Maharudram, some people are coming and talking to me. You don't know me, but I watched you on YouTube doing Devi Mahatma chanting. You do the Sankalpam. Then I messaged you. You spoke with me on the phone. You don't remember now. So if you chant well, it has that impact. People listen and they love it, they appreciate it. So try to get to that high standard of chanting, even if it is tough, right? So Vekkapadango in Tamil, that is more powerful than an English statement. Once you learn, you are the master, and that is the rule that I've applied. I don't feel ashamed, shy of saying I don't know what you said, I didn't understand. There are some places where people have laughed. I mean, they all thought that they are smart. I was the dumbest in the whole crowd. So they laughed. Fortunately, the person who was teaching was a very mature person. He said, okay, I will not give the answer. All of you laughed. Can you give the answer to him? Everybody was looking up and down. That means you also don't know. Then why are you laughing? And then he said, by asking that question, he has helped the entire class. He has made it easy for you. So don't laugh. You should thank him. And the philosophy is you will be laughed at only up until that point till you know the answer. The next second onwards, you are as smart as anybody else. So on the philosophy which in it's very easy to chant or ask questions. And same way for me, just because I'm sitting and teaching here doesn't mean I'm a know-all. There could be 1,000 things that I don't know. So I also learn when people talk. And you must be open to that. You can't be having that arrogance, I'm a teacher, so I know everything. No, teachers doesn't mean that you know everything. You're just lucky to be on this side of the table. That's it. So please feel free to chant. Otherwise, Vedam will not be that easy. I can guarantee you that. Okay? Great. Take care. See you all back in the US next week.
Thank you.
Happy journey, Guru Garu.
Yeah, thank you. Stay safe. Stay safe. It is supposed to be a very coldest period all over the world.
Yeah.
And Mumbaikars, please heat your water up from now on. Till 31st, they expect a lot of contamination.
And in New Jersey, no snow up to now.
But yeah, it is severe weather from today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bangalore, very cold.
Where?
Bangalore.
Ah, okay. You are in Bangalore now?
Very cold. No, I came back on Saturday.
Okay.
It was very.
Yes. No, everywhere, even in Mumbai also it is cold, but up north it is even colder.